taka da da da, ba 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 da da. Hill where the Lord hides. homeless. There's H-O. Then in the middle, O-M. Then at the end, M-E. Less. There's no ho-ho. Have you ever been fucking homeless? There's no center. Om is the catchphrase for meditation and centering. There's no fucking centering! Because there's no me. Get the fuck out. Get out of here. Get out. We're calling the police. No ho ho ho. No. Oh, what are you paying for your fucking yoga class, huh? How'd you become Clara Barton? Mother Teresa, who gave up affluence purposely. She didn't follow Catholicism. She utilized Catholicism. Read her diaries and what's been written about her. Because she wanted to help the poor. And she took a vow of poverty so she wouldn't move backwards. Because money, I got power, I can prestige, I can prove that I'm such a good Don, I take care of my 3 or 4, and fuck the whole world, eat or be eaten. Third of Americans, only I'm talking about. We are the vulnerables, we are the weaker, we are the lesser, we are the weaklings, we are to be eaten, right? We're just a little field mouse for you to feast on. No me, no Om, no ho ho ho. I've been homeless a lot. There's love in action, agape. My neighbors wanted to evict me in the first couple of years for this shit. Really. Helpless animals that the ecological system is fucked up. Oh, wow. Here's this. Fucking Sue. What's your fucking last name? Sue, Y-U-K-E-N-A-V-I-T-C-H. A refiner's fire. A refiner's fire. Fuck you, God. I'll be seeing you real soon. And this is, it's a little, whatever. It says innocence lost. L-O-S-T. It's mixed up. Innocence lost. You molested for 2 years? I fucking was. I believe in God 101%. I'm gonna go face God, whatever the hell that means. This is my suicide note. So don't be so impatient that it might be a little too fucking long. Sorry I'm not serving a luncheon or refreshments after my self-proclaimed fucking funeral. Now, anyone who's listening to this probably knows most of what I'm saying. But for fucked up Sue Y, I'm just gonna go, Y is right. Y is a crooked letter. Why are you so greedy? But believe me, I ain't just picking on her. Because the Hebrew Proverbs, my great-grandfather was a rabbi. My name is Avi, by the way. Some know throughout 66 years, they've known me as Drew. As an entertainer, they knew me as Screwy Drewy. My go nowhere at all efforts in the last few years to get a podcast going so that we could eradicate loneliness like the old, with the same basic premise of a Sesame Street mixed with Jerry Lewis Labor Day telethons, no money, fuck money, fuck money. I was a CEO for almost 12 years. Fuck money, fuck money, fuck money. But anyway, the point is the concept of mixing it, making it really fun, in my desire to be able to be all things to all men, to end loneliness for many. I was thinking 3 podcasts, one for children, one for everybody, and one after dark. And because there's 2 Americas, I know I did the thing about 3, but in this pot, in the concept is, anyone watching this, you have no fucking clue. Or maybe you've thrown a few little lifeboats out into hell. You're such a brave soul for compassion. Where is Clara Barton, who refused a gun and would go to the head in the Civil War, and she'd heal Confederate equally to Union? The Hippocratic Oath is a hypocrite oath. It is, it is, it is. So, I'm a piece of shit. All of this is my manure. You know, I used to tell my daughter that a wise human will learn from their own, a wise human will learn from other people's mistakes so they don't make them. That's why, well, that's written. So maybe somebody will hear or be wise and listen to the fool on the hill here. And number 2, a smart person will ultimately learn from their own mistakes, confess them, and embrace them, be honest about them, and propagate them, and go, learn from me. I just fucked up 28 years. You don't want to do that. And a fool just doesn't learn. Boom, 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 boom. That thing where the thing keeps knocking its head on the brick. Anyway, the issue is, if you want to be wise, all I'm telling you is that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get this podcast going, and there's 2 Americas, that's the point. You guys get paid. I don't care if you're a professional clergy or you're a professional therapist or psychiatrist or, even professional doctors. You guys have no understanding that there are 2 rules in America. And I wouldn't if I wasn't marinated in suffering, and I wasn't paranoid schizophrenic, and if I wasn't molested for almost 2 years by a man that my stepfather, Yussel Katz, and Florence Feinhorn Katz hired to get their out-of-control, mentally ill son to read. I don't even have a GED, on and on, but my mother was paranoid schizophrenic with endless amount of inherited old German Welsh Jew money. Unless you're in your 70s, you have no idea what I'm talking about. She was out of control, an only child, bizarre. And my father, who was he was the kindest Moses that ever existed, died in my arms when I was 12. What an odd background. He was an immigrant son, lived on a highway, whatever that would have been called that time, above a liquor store that was his dad's, who was the immigrant. Rose's Liquors, and I think whatever it was. And that was my grandmother. They both died at 61. My dad died at 45. But anyway, all of that, my great-grandfather was a rabbi, as I pointed out, on my daddy's side. My mother's side was absolutely the propagators of the ultimate directors of the Golden Calf. It's big ba boom bom, bing ba boom bom bing. I'm also known as Avraham because that's my Hebrew name. Very religious Jews have 2 birth certificates. I had 2. I have none now. And my mother didn't want me too Jewish, and so she had me as Andrew Stewart Horn. She nicknamed me Drew, and Daddy called me Avi. Anyway, they loved each other. My mother was very evil. The neighbors hated her. She hated them. She was in her own fucking world. I love my mom. She passed at 89. Once I fully embraced what a piece of shit I am, and you're as sick as your deepest secret. And that process didn't start till age 57 when I did give up my dream. You know, my dream was Google turnafrownaround.org. Go through that. Look at the Compassion Chronicles. All that was an inkling within my soul while I was jogging an hour a day, because I now had been hospitalized too many times. I'm divorced a second time. I really hit my bottom, but I wasn't going to tell him I was my mother. So I told him I was bipolar, and I started semi-listening. And anyway, by age 43, I'm waiting on lines in Manhattan at 2 in the morning to do 3-minute open mic, because I realized in America you could be a complete fuck-up like me, but people love personalities. They pay ridiculous money for personalities. And anyway, and I'm such a fucking goddamn liar, I should have been the actor of the universe, because all these spirits possess me. And let me clarify, I don't expect anyone to believe me, but I've been around the block and the block and the block. And I've told a few therapists only recently. I only came out of the closet at age 57 and didn't really get intently verbal about it till about 59. And that I hear voices since I'm 6, hallucinate since I'm 6. I couldn't do in school because I had crowds around me that didn't exist. I don't think any of them are really human, but anyway, it's a bizarre life. You know, you want to blame it on my mother smoking 4 packs of Kent cigarettes a day and taking endless diet pills and whatever else she did? I don't know. I don't care. Ultimately, I am what I am, and it ain't Popeye the Sailor Man. So anyway, my daughter used to call me an enigma. I remember one time, I really didn't know. She did. My daughter was a Taurus, although she was so sweet to me. Nevertheless, she just kind of looked up and said, hey, Dad, you know you're an enigma. So I was like, is that good or bad? I really didn't know. And she chuckled and she said, Daddy, my daughter was a singer-songwriter. Nashville had us down when she was late age 15, signed by 18, traveled, did 44 states and 6 continents, and then called me when she was age 21 or 2 and said, Daddy, I know, she used to call me Dadinger, like her manager, and she said, Daddy, I don't want you to be upset, and she was worried. Wow. But she told me straightforward, she goes, Daddy, I don't like the stage like you do, and I need the stage. I do. Like, it's just terrible. And, but my daughter, anyway, the issue is, I called her the female Billy Joel. She just really had all those components. But she said, Daddy, I don't like the stage. It causes me so much anxiety. And she knew mental health because she'd been visiting me. Her first time was when she was 11. I've been hospitalized over 20 times. They wouldn't allow that now. I'm not saying they should have allowed it then. But nevertheless, my daughter asked me, like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, looking at the phony wizard, you know, go get the broom handle of the wicked witch of the west. Anyway, with fear and trepidation, my daughter says, Daddy, I don't want to do the stage. So I said, well, you have any ideas of what you want to do? I don't want to pressure you. You've only been kind of, been working full-time since you're 15. And she said, Daddy, I want to go back to school. I want to be a teacher for special ed. And we both cried, and it was just, we both knew why she wanted to do that. She wanted to help younger daddies. So anyway, she died of ovarian cancer at age 40. She would have been 42 May 12th, 2021. I think I have that down. I could be mixed up with Everett. I lived in such denial. I wouldn't be around my daughter when I knew she was absolutely dying. Anyway, I'm a piece of shit. But she raised me, and she loved me in spite of me. And she took me to see the movie Sam I Am, or I Am Sam. Anyway, this is 27:22, and I haven't gotten to one word practically to what I was planning to say. But anyway, you can Google Drew Horn 2013 Voice Award Acceptance Speech. You can Google, I think it's on Vimeo, Drew Horn, The Value of Caring. It's the only show I let my board, go ahead, let them see that. I wouldn't charge for shows like suggested donations. We were a not-for-profit 501c3. I'd never do any of that again. I am telling you, half of my entire existence, and it was the later half when we needed to be doing really important things. I was becoming a fundraiser and a big show, and I blame myself. It's all bullshit. Bullshit. You just listen to me. If anybody's listening, are you halfway intelligent? You do a search and rescue of every institution of isolation. You get it? Jails, nursing homes, psych wards, homeless shelters, all the places that are set up for abused children, all the places that are set up for abused women, all the places that are set up for the abused disabled. Forget all of the endless Eleanor Rigby's. Listen to that song. It's like just a little over 2 minutes. The Beatles wrote it. Listen to that song. Listen to it. It was my marching orders personally. And by the way, if I could have done this a little bit more MGM production, that's my generation. I don't know what you guys have heard, the big, movie, boom, boom, boom. The guy who did the Titanic, like Cecil B. DeMille. I no budget. I would have had 2 songs. Jacques Brel, If We Only Have Love. Listen to that. And from the musical Man of La Mancha, based on the book Don Quixote, a joke I used to have is I used to say, I'm Don Quixote, Don Quixote. I'm a jackass that wants to save the world. I want to end loneliness. No one would help me. That's why I'm killing myself ultimately. No one would really just go. Enough people knew what I needed and wanted. No one said, oh, I'll do that. Were you one of them? The sin of omission? You say, fuck you, Avi, you think you're important, you know my problems? Oh, it's okay. Ultimately, God is making a point and utilizing me. Because I fucking tried. No one in the universe. I'm on 4 mailing lists. It only took 2 months after it was clear that this whole coronavirus back May, June, July of 2020. And I thank the good gods for Janet Rika, if I say your last name. She was the greatest social worker I ever had to be out of nursing. So proactive. Ridiculous. She got me on 3 of the 4 mailing lists I'm on. And, but I've tried. I've called over 30 agencies. Did you hear me? 30! People would, and you know what everything is? I want you to know where your taxpayers are going, where your money. No one can really give legal help because they can get sued. So everybody becomes only a reference source. And then they refer you to 5 other reference sources, and they're all signposts that point away from them to other reference sources. No one helped me. The Jews didn't help me, and I'm a fucking Jew. I reached out, I begged, I this and that. And believe me, everyone turned me away. But, I'm not saying I'm a religious Jew, but I grew up real Jew, and you can't un-Jew Jew. I think the reasoning behind that creates wars. So if you want to know what my ideal is, on my second song, I never said it is The Impossible Dream from Man of La Mancha. That's it. And I guess the Beatles, If We Only Have Love. We could make that a beautiful trifecta. Seeing we're utilizing Eleanor Rigby as well, because that's the action point. You want your action point? Eleanor Rigby. Listen to The Impossible Dream. That's also only about 2 minutes, unless you listen to the finale. Anyway, Jacques Brel's a little longer. Anyhow, listen to those songs. Ask the good gods to chop away the 3 cancers that are eroding your life, even if you just got a great bill of health. And that's greed, power, and prestige, and they're all kind of intertwined. I got to control. I got to be in control. I got to be in control. I got to be in control. And if I have all the money, or I got the physical, I got military around me, or I can beat the shit out of you, or I'll beat the shit out of you before you beat the shit out of me, or you love me so much, you'll do whatever I say. You want my autograph? Wow, I'm kind of like not as famous as I was. It costs $20 now. Okay, very good. Wow. I know that's what Reverend Tutu stood for. I know that's what Reverend Mandela stand for. I know that's what Reverend Martin Luther King stood for. I'm being fully sarcastic. If I continue, I want to go positive. No, Dr. Martin Luther King and Reverend Tutu and Reverend Mandela and Mother Teresa and Dr. Hunter Patch Adams and my own daddy,